and welcome to yet another edition of Ask Miss Judes. As usual, I hope you're taking good care of yourself and that you're enjoying life as God gives it. Today, I wanted to just thank all of you, my awesome community members, subscribers, those who watch my videos and share, and also to thank you, especially for the feedback I received from a lot of you on ways in which you are replenishing yourself so that you can pour, following on from the video of how to pour from an empty cup. So some of you shared strategies of what you use. Some people say they take long showers, long baths, and inside they think and reflect on their day and give themselves time to process how their days are going as a strategy to replenish themselves. Others exercise, some praise and worship, some dance. I've been so jealous of those who dance every morning because I kind of dance in the evenings. I wish I could do it in the morning as well. So I want to thank you all for sharing. Today, I wanted to quickly share to share on how to overcome weaknesses. And really that is like a spin-off of the other one, because we will not be our better versions of ourselves if we do not find out what our weaknesses are and to work on them intentionally. Now, because we know what weaknesses are, I'm not going to waste time to explain what is a weakness. Anything that makes us feel uncomfortable, that makes the people around us feel uncomfortable, or that makes us feel bad at the end of the day or after an incident would be considered a weakness. Now, how would we determine our weaknesses? You know, I'm big on reflection and thinking about the day. So I would do a regular self-evaluation. Usually after situations of interactions that are maybe a bit uncomfortable. So it could be at work, it could be at home. Sometimes it could even be with my husband. We look at things and then say, okay, how can I improve? I then ask for input. My poor husband has to provide input all the time on what does he think of me? How could I have done things differently? I also ask from my children. So getting input from outside sources that are not ourselves is kind of helpful because they're a bit more objective. And then when you ask for that input, don't defend yourself. Don't explain why you did anything. You are asking for how you can improve on your weaknesses. When I have solicited that input, I will critically reflect on the options that I have to deal with those weaknesses. Then I create a plan for addressing the weaknesses and I communicate that plan. So in my situation, because I like accountability, I would tell my husband and my children and my sisters with whom I pray daily to say, this is what I'm working on. Call me out if you find that I am not being true to what I said I would do to about this. So I will create a plan. I will communicate that plan to myself and to those around me who I want to hold me accountable. Then I will implement the plan. And then after implementing, I will review to see how I did and how I can do even better. Now, you know that I like giving personal examples. So I'm going to try to give a few. Don't judge me and don't use it against me next time, because I'm sure by the time I'm done, you too will review your own weaknesses. And I hope you'll be generous enough to share so that all of us can learn. So I solicited input from my children and my husband many years ago. And one of the things they said to me was that I was brutally honest, is the language that they used. And while honesty is a good thing, how we communicate truth can determine how it is received. So by the grace of God, I have worked so much on that. And how I spun that around was to look at the outcome that I wanted from communication. So if my children did something wrong and I told them, what is my aim? Is it so that they will feel bad or so that they will change? So if my aim is to make them change, then I pay a lot of attention to how I communicate that truth in a manner that is acceptable, because what I want is for change to take place. And guys, I guarantee you that makes a huge difference, because it takes the whole question of judging out of a situation and can present before someone what it is that they need to consider. So I'm grateful for that. But if I didn't solicit their input, I'd probably say, oh, I'm just telling it as it is. But that would not have been to anybody's benefit. Another that I wanted to share was, believe it or not, I had an anger problem. I could get so angry that I would not talk to anybody. This was decades ago, praise God. So when I discovered that this was an issue, I thought I couldn't go through into my adulthood dealing with this anger. So I decided that I was not going to be angry. And okay, so this is a good point to mention this. Whenever, that's my experience, whenever you decide that you want to change a thing, be prepared for the universe to rise up against you. So after I decided that I was not going to be losing my temper, I'm not sure it was even up to an hour or two, someone did something that ordinary I would have flared up and I would have spoken my truth as I saw it at the time. And something just reminded me that I had decided I wasn't going to get angry. So I called out my name to myself and I said, you are not going to lose your temper. And this was I was in the UK at the time. I was going to the train station and I kept saying that. I don't remember at which point I stopped saying it. I remember though that I did not get angry. So I found that speaking what it is that I want to do was one strategy of reminding myself that this thing that I said I was going to work on is actually going to happen. Another example, now you can judge me if you like, but I used to be very vain as a younger woman. Vain in the sense, oh Lord, I think I'm going to get into trouble. Vain in the sense that I would probably buy a pair of shoes because it was the only one in the store. I don't want anybody else to wear what I was wearing. People, this was like 30 years ago, okay? So don't judge me. Anyway, there was this lovely leather shoe store on Oxford Street. I can still see where the store was. And I had made a decision that I was going to deal with this vanity in my life. I wasn't going to buy anything unless I needed it. I wasn't just going to buy shoes because they were beautiful or because they were the only pair in the store. Now, after making that decision, I was walking down Oxford Street and I saw this pair of black leather shoes that had my name written all over it. And then I called my name to myself. People, it's not funny. I actually spoke aloud to myself. Like, you are not buying the shoes. You're not going in that store. You are not buying the shoes. And like, I don't recall how long later, I must have been like 5-6 stores away when I realized I was still saying that to myself, and I did not go into that store. I felt so accomplished. But also that taught me that hearing myself speak to myself is a strategy to remind me of decisions that I've made. And when I do that, I'm more likely to follow through. So with these few examples, there are more, but I just wanted to connect with you in a manner that says it doesn't matter the level of challenge or weakness that you want to confront in your own life, you can do it. Because if I've done it several times over, you can do it even better than I have done. So I want to encourage you as we aspire to become the better version of yourself, that you want to wake up every day and go to bed with yourself knowing that you have improved, that you will take the time to not just reflect on your weaknesses, but that you actually do something about them, and then you will review and you will get better as the day goes by. So as always, I'm going to ask that you leave your comments in the comment section down below, that you add strategies that have worked with you in overcoming challenges, and that every one of us can benefit from your experience. If you'd rather send an email, please do so to askmissjudes@gmail.com. So that's askmzjudz@gmail.com. Like, share, and subscribe, and I look forward to coming your way again real soon. Take care. Bye.